Alright YouTube, what's going on? I got a new video today for you. Got a new Kizer knife. It's the anticipated Sheepdog Micarta thumbhole opening, full size. Not the mini that I reviewed earlier on the channel. This is the bigger one, and when I reviewed that knife, I said, this is the best version of the Sheepdog I've seen, but it was just a little too small. Please, Kizer, make this in the normal size. What do you know? I don't know if Kizer listened to my video or probably a lot of other feedback as well, but they made it. So here it is. Now I'm a few days behind getting mine. There's already a few guys that have gotten these in stock. I think Lefty and Kyle, DTO Knives and Gear, and Lefty EDC. I'll link their channels down below. I think they got theirs in ahead of me, but I ordered mine from Mojave Outdoors on Amazon, which is where I get a lot of Kizers from, and I just got it yesterday. So my first impressions is it's bigger than I anticipated it was going to be. I know that the other one was quite a bit small, but for some reason I didn't feel like this was going to be this big. So let's do some size comparisons now. And honestly, it's not a huge knife, but it's about the same size as a Strider S&G. I mean, it's a little smaller in the handle and length, as you can see there, but you're not talking a lot of difference there, and for some reason I just anticipated it being smaller. Now what it is, I think it's because it's wide. So if you look at the Para 3 next to it, it's a little bit bigger than a Para 3. How about the 80-20.5? They're about the same length. What makes the Kizer feel bigger, I think, is the wide blade. How about a Malibu? So it's literally really close to the same size as far as length is concerned as these knives, right? But where it's a lot bigger is its width, because that's a big old cleaver blade. It's really not that big, it's 3.3 inches long, but it's just wide. So when the knife is shut, if you were to compare like the Malibu, which is a similar size knife, it's quite a bit thick, thicker in the pocket. So the Para 3, all the Spydercos are gonna have that hump with the hole, and it has a similar dimension to the Para 3 as far as width. Let's actually measure that while I'm thinking about it. So at the widest point in your pocket, which is probably about right there, it's 1.7 inches wide. On a Para 3, you're 1.6 inches wide at the hump. So a little bit wider in the pocket than the Para 3. I don't think it's gonna make a difference to me as far as carrying the knife and using it and such, but it took me by surprise. I know that's weird because I wanted this. I asked for this, but yeah. Just packaging, it comes in your standard Kizer Vanguard packaging. There's your model number. Now it's not available from Mojave Outdoors. It looks like they sold out, but they will be getting more in. They actually reached out to me about a collaboration video, and I have an exclusive for all Mojave Outdoors coming soon, and I will have a discount code. So when this video goes live, it will not be, the discount code won't be available, but the knife is not available to purchase anyway. So check back on the description, and I'm gonna update it with the 10% off code for Mojave Outdoors. So. And I'll have that code going forward as well on all your other Kizer purchases. So pretty cool that they reached out to me, and I said, hey, I just bought this knife from you actually. So let's talk about this guy. I'm not gonna spend a ton of time reviewing this knife just because I have reviewed the Sheepdog in a couple different sizes before, but it's literally just a blown up version of the mini Micarta one we just took a look at recently, 154 cm, same blade, steel, same finish on the black wash, looks really good. Black Micarta handles look really good. There's your Sheepdog Knives logo there. The one big difference that you're looking at right here is they changed the pocket clip. They changed it to a more deep carry fold over style clip, and I've got to tell you, this is a great clip. It works perfect. It has just enough gap. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of gap, but there's just enough. Just testing it on my shorts, which you can't see, so that doesn't do you a lot of good. All right, so I went and grabbed a pair of 511 shorts. something I wear in the summer all the time, just to kind of show you how the knife clips on. It could use a little bit more gap between the clip and the body, but once you get it over that and you slide it in, it slides in nicely, and it is a deep carry. So it's got good retention. It's not too stiff, so it's going to go through that. Let's look at a thicker material like denim, also 511. So you can see once you kind of get over that, it goes on nicely, and it's nice deep carry. Now that's how much of the knife is in your pocket. It's pretty wide. So if you're planning on carrying other stuff in that pocket, probably not going to work out too well, unless it's very slim, like chapstick or something, because it does take up a lot of real estate and width, which I know for some guys is a deal breaker. So just something to think about, but it's inevitable with this style blade. You're not going to get a cleaver style blade to be any smaller because it's just a wide blade profile, right? Just the nature of the beast. So the basic other specs on this guy, it is a 3.3 inch blade. Handle length is going to be 4.4 inches. So it is a good size, a really good size for EDC. And its weight, why am I in grams? There we go. No, don't want fluid ounces. There we go. The scale in here. 4.4 ounces overall weight. So good size for EDC. And you have some milling inside, just like the other mini Sheepdog. You have the milling on the steel liners in there. This knife is going to weigh a lot, not a lot more, but more of course, because it's a lot bigger knife than the small one. I don't have the small one anymore to do size comparisons. I kind of wish I would have held on to it. I just didn't know when this knife was coming out, but I knew it was too small and I wanted the bigger one. So don't have it to compare anymore. You guys know me, I do knife sales, I sell knives, I move things along that aren't being carried and used. So, but yeah, good sized knife. The ergos are great, just like they were on the small, but you have that much bigger handle. Fits my medium-sized hands very well. Have a little bit of leftover, but it's pretty much a perfect fit. There's also this shelf, we'll call it up here. You can actually choke up on right there if you need to and get a little bit better, more control. Your finger is pretty close to the edge there. It's not a dedicated, what I would consider a choil, but it is a shelf that we'll call it. You can put it up there and work, so works well. Let's see if this one is as thin behind the edge as the other one, because it was a slicey blade. Yep, 14.5 is what I'm getting behind the edge. So that's really good. That's at about the middle of the blade. It's probably going to thicken up a little bit more towards the tip. Let's actually take that measurement and find out. Yeah, it's actually a little thinner up there, weirdly enough. So it's about the same thickness from here to here behind the edge, which should be a very slicey knife. Yeah, just awesome, right? Like, this is the Sheepdog I think everyone wanted. Not, the flippers are cool and all, but this one with the thumb hole opening, that's my preferred method of opening. You can use your thumb, obviously middle finger flick, and another way is you can kind of do this, like that. I don't know when you're gonna do that, but if you're fidgeting with your knives, maybe you do. The action is super smooth, as you can see. Kizer has really done a really good job lately on their actions. They've definitely smoothed out the action on these knives. Now the detent on this guy is pretty stiff, I'm not gonna lie. It is not like a light detent. It flies out, but it does take a little bit more force on the middle finger flick and the flick there than like a pair of 3 does. So a little bit more of a detent. Now that could change knife to knife. So if you've got one of these, let me know how your detent is. I know Lefty's the detent diva, so I'm sure he'll chime in and say, "Oh, it hurts my finger." I'm just joking, bro. Just joking. Anyway, that's just a little shade being thrown. He actually has a t-shirt coming out. This is Detent Diva, which is amazing. But he actually prefers a strong detent, so he can use it left-handed, right? So left-handed, Oh man, that's gonna be too much. This one would be too much for you, lefty. I mean, your left finger is probably stronger than mine, but because you're lefty, but I'm not middle finger flicking that. That is not coming out like at all. I would have to just use that thumb hole roll. It's not going to. Oh yeah, that is stiff. It's a pretty stiff D10. I don't know if all of them are like that, but this one is pretty stiff on the D10. So lefty wise, you're probably out of luck on that one, bro. On my model anyway. I don't know how yours is. And yes, I am speaking directly to Kevin. But if anyone else that's left-handed as well, obviously is going to have, if your D10 is as strong as this one, it's going to have a bit of an issue with the middle finger flick, because it's pretty strong. But anyway, guys, yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up. I mean, like I said, I reviewed this knife a few times in different configurations. So, but this is definitely my favorite of all of them. I really liked the mini version of this. I did. It was just a titch too small. And this is right about perfect size knife for me. Like I said, it did surprise me though. At first I was like, this is big. What the heck? And then I like started comparing it to other knives that I have. I'm like, no, it's really not. It's just wide. You know, as this knife gets bigger in specs, it's going to get a little wider to carry. So that would be my only downside of this knife, is it's a little wide to carry in the pocket, but they did make the pocket clip a lot better, which I really think that's a big improvement, at least for me anyway. And it doesn't add, they did a really good job on it, because it doesn't add, it's not too tall. Sometimes when you get these fold over clips, they're a little too tall, so they give you a hot spot. None at all. Just, it melts right into your hand. They did a great job, and not too much of an pronounced clip here. It's not going to create, I mean, I can really bear down on this sucker, and it's not giving me any hot spots. So yeah, really well done on the clip. So I think the ergos are going to be fantastic on this. The action is great. The D10 is a tad stiff. It works fine for me being a righty. I think for a lefty, you're going to be out of luck with the middle finger flick, unless you just got a super strong finger there, which, you know, you might because you're left-handed. Yeah, not gonna work. All right, guys, I think that's gonna wrap up this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and make sure you check the description in the near future for a discount code, and all the other Kizer knives that you buy. If you buy from Mojave Outdoors on Amazon, which is where I buy a lot of them, you'll get a 10% off code. So as soon as I get that code, I'll update the description, and we'll talk to you next time.